Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Public Works, Parks, Recreation, and Environment Committee. I am Marilyn Rossetti, Councilwoman, City of Hartford, Chair of the committee. With me tonight, I have member Councilman Nick LeBron, member John Gale, Council member Nick LeBron, Council member John Gale, Councilwoman Shirley Sturgeon, not a member, but a member of the Court of Common Council, our attorney, Mr. Jim Del Visco, and guess who we will name at a certain point. I must read this because I forgot it last time. This meeting will be broadcast on HPA-TV's Comcast and Frontier government channels 96 and 6032. It will also be streamed via HPA-TV.org, the HPA-TV Facebook page, and HPA-TV's Roku TV, Apple TV, and Amazon TV apps, and made available in HPA-TV's YouTube channel. Thank you. Also with us is Mr. Craig Mergens, Ms. Hyacinth Yenny, Charmaine Craig, who works with me at City Hall. I think Charlotte Yenny is here, Assistant DPW Director, Patrol Mailer, and I believe Mr. Camacho is here with us. Our first agenda item is a resolution, Mayor Bronin with accompanying resolution reconfirming the reappointments of Carl Williams and is this what's wrong with it? Is Craig Mergens at the at-large representatives, and an appointment of Jose Camacho as a representative of the Heaven Skate Park for the Parks and Recreation Advisory Committee, also known as PRAC. We have both Mr. Mergens and Mr. Camacho here with us this evening. I don't think Mr. Williams is here. So for reappointments, it is Mr. Mergens, and we'll go first. And all of my colleagues have his resume and all his great experience. Presently, he's at Knox, and just how dedicated he's been to the city. And Craig, I don't know if you want to speak to a little bit about why you'd like to be reappointed.
Sure. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for the opportunity to speak. I've certainly been here in the city of Hartford for approximately 35 years, was a chair for several years of the Parks and Recreation Advisory Commission. Certainly the parks, the historical park system that we have here in Hartford has been a major priority, both from I think from the beautification, the continual capital improvements in working with City Hall and utilizing the Park Trust Fund to continue to make whatever improvements that we can move forward as a commission, but also my love and passion for a baseball coach with Mayor Mike's Little League for 12 years, and the importance of recreation as it pertains to the overall wellness of our residents. So I would like to continue to be able to support the commission and continue that work as we move forward.
Thank you, Craig. I am, okay. Do any of my colleagues, Councilman Gale, Councilman LeBron, do you have any questions for Craig? Mr. Mergens? Yes, Mr. Gale, Councilman Gale.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. I have no particular questions for Mr. Mergens, but I would like to just express my own appreciation, and I believe the appreciation of City Council and all of Hartford, that folks like Mr. Mergens are willing to step up and participate in the many commissions that Hartford has. These are very important. These commissions serve very important purposes, and I know from firsthand experience, Mr. Mergens has been incredibly dedicated to the park system here. I've been participating in PRAC meetings for about 5.5 years now, and if there's one constant there besides Patrell, who's on this call, it would be Craig. This is, to his credit, and so I just want to express we really certainly appreciate it. And I think and and my comments extend to Mr. Camacho as well, that council is here to help the commission in any way that we can, so that as the commission's deliberating, if there are matters that you feel that city council should be addressing, I mean, certainly, and again, I think I'm speaking for everybody, but for myself, my door is always open, and I'm sure it's true for everybody else. So thank you, Mr. Mergens, and to you, Mr. Camacho, thank you as well.
Thank you, Councilman Gale. Councilman LeBron.
Yes, through you, Madam Chair. Mr. Mergens, how long have you been involved in parks and rec activities in the city of Hartford?
24 years.
24 years. And can you just name all the capacities that you've been involved in?
Well, as it relates to the Park Commission, I was a commissioner, then asked by City Hall and through the commission to consider chairing the commission, which I did for several years, and now I'm the co-chair. Work directly with the recreation staff in terms of trying to facilitate and develop positive recreational outlets for our residents of our city. And from Kim Oliver to Troy Stewart, tried to continue to, through our subcommittees that we formed and working with those individuals that work within the department, to also have sidebar meetings which come back to the commission in terms of recreational programming ideas.
Just one follow-up question through you, Madam Chair.
Yes.
So, Mr. Mergens, I've through our conversations before, I know you've studied other cities and stuff like that. In regards to some things that you've seen across the country, what are some of the things that you would like Hartford to replicate with its parks and recs that you've seen in other municipalities?
Well, I think the first thing that percolates to the top of my priority list would be to try to, and as Councilman Gale stated, he's heard when I chaired, to look at ways of through City Hall bringing back our Parks and Recreation Department. I think it's vitally important that it's a priority and a standalone department that can focus its energies on providing good quality programming to continue to improve the quality of life. We had one back in the day, and when I was at Riverfront for 30 years, you know, we worked in tandem to continue both on the maintenance side of our parks and on the programming side of the parks. I think that as a capital city, we should try to figure out how we can make that happen. And it's been a priority of the commission as well. So I would say that would be the number one thing. I think the ability to work with you council members as well as the mayor's office to look at creative ways of using and utilizing the Park Trust Fund to continue to make important improvements within our park system, to keep them safe, to make sure the playing fields and the places for people to go and recreate and relax and enjoy whether it's a picnic under a shady tree or swim in a pool. I think that's a priority for all of us in terms of making sure our parks work. So those would be the two things that, as a Chicago boy, you know, there's amazing amounts of programming. And I think it also, as I know it's a priority for all of you council members, it also falls into, you know, the violence prevention. We keep these kids active, and I think it relates directly as to building them into good people and keeping them busy and away from the potential negative side of things that could happen on a street corner. So those are the three things I would say.
Thank you, Mr. Mergens.
Yep.
Thank you, Craig. Councilwoman Surgeon, do you have any questions for Mr. Mergens?
No, ma'am. I just want to congratulate him, and I'm listening to the history, which he talked about, which is unbelievable. Wow. Thank you so very much for sticking with us. I'm just incredible. You've been around since Troy Stewart was beginning. It's been a long time.
Yep.
It's been a long time, Mr. Mergens. So, wow. Thank you so very much. for
welcome.
all that you're giving with us and sticking with us. Wow.
And now we have, I think we're so smart, we've figured out a way to be able to speak to Mr. Camacho. So I will speak here and he will come through Nick LeBron's phone, correct? Is that how
Yes,
it's going to work?
Camacho, are you here? Can you guys hear him? Hold on.
A little bit. Can you like put him closer to the speaker?
I got a new computer here. I don't know where the speaker is. I think it's over here on the side. Go, Camacho, talk again.
It's a little better. He can talk louder and you do that.
Okay, all right. Yeah, if you could yell, Camacho. All right, the floor is yours, Madam Chair.
So Mr. Camacho is a new appointment, unlike Mr. Merkins, who was a reappointment. Again, my colleagues have his resume. I'd just like to ask Mr. Camacho why he wants to be appointed to PrEC.
I would like to be appointed to PrEC. It's something that one of our other members has done, Dave Rosa. But I just want to be able to better organize the Heaven Skate Park and have us just doing a lot of better things for the community. Because right now it's just a lot of running around.
Were you guys able to hear that?
No, say that. Maybe you can say what he said,
Yeah.
Nick.
So, Mr. Camacho stated that he wants to follow I guess the former member Dave Rosa, and he wants to bring more community activities to Heaven Skate Park because right now it just seems to be in his words running around in terms of activities, and so he would like to be able to organize that more. Am I right, Mr. Camacho? Yes. Okay.
Okay. So hold on one minute. Another councilman's asking for the link, and I can't do, unfortunately, two things at once.
Marilyn, if you let me know, I can send it to them. Who needs the
Can
link?
you send it to Jimmy, please? Thank you.
Sure. You're welcome.
So thank you, Mr. Camacho, for that. So I think what we'll do is that, and again, we have your resume. I will open the floor to my colleagues. Councilman Gale, I will go to you first.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Mr. Camacho, I hope you heard my earlier comments, and I guess I will phrase sort of a question for you. When we appoint folks to these commissions, we like to know that people have the time to and are prepared to dedicate the time to participate. This commission, if I'm not mistaken, meets the last Tuesday of every month, and Mr. Mergens is shaking his head yes, so I think I got that right. And they meet at 6 p.m. and I would say often their meetings are a couple of hours. They probably go from 6 to 8 p.m. as a fairly standard PrAC meeting. So I guess my question for you, Mr. Camacho, is this, are you prepared to participate at that level and give of your time once a month? And I expect at some point these are going to be live meetings again, which were held in the green room at City Hall, where you get an opportunity, I think a beneficial opportunity, to meet the other commissioners in person and to share experiences and knowledge. And I think that's very helpful. The commissioners, I think, have a lot to share with each other. So hoping that that's something that's going to work for you, Mr. Camacho.
Yeah, he said definitely, he would definitely be dedicating all that time.
Thank you, Councilman LeBron. So we have Councilman Sanchez, who has just joined us. So Councilman LeBron, you have a direct link to Mr. Camacho, so
Yes.
you can actually ask him a question directly. Do
Sure.
you have anything?
Sure, Mr. Camacho, is the obviously it's called Heaven Skate Park, but have there been, other activities that you guys engaged in? I know it's just not the skateboards, but can bikes go there? What is the amount of those activities, or is it just exclusively for skateboarders?
It's not exclusively for skateboarders, for everybody. You can go in with roller skate, bikes, the little scooter thing that you have to manually drive. It's just open to the public. It's not for anybody specific.
All right, so Mr. Camacho said that it's open to anybody in the public. People come with roller skates. They have pedal scooters, skate bikes, and all kinds of those type of modalities. So, yeah, he said it's open. So thank you, Mr. Camacho. I appreciate that. Thank you. Through you, Madam Chair.
Thank you. Councilwoman Surgeon, any questions for Mr. Camacho?
Yes, ma'am. Through you, Madam Chair. Just want to let Mr. Camacho know that the council, in its wisdom, had appropriated some money in CDBG funds to actually go in and do some fixing up, some flags on the poles at the Heavens Park area. So just want to let him know that he's going to be beautifying that area, and the Business Improvement District downtown is undertaking that ability to get that done, to do some nice painting, because when you get off the highway, the park is directly in front of the highway, and we want to make it really more welcoming for visitors, and letting them understand that this is a great park for our community and our visitors, and it's a safe park. So I want to thank him very much for volunteering to be on the committee to help those renovations to take place in the next couple of months.
Good points, Councilwoman. Thank you.
Oh. Yep. So he said, thank you very much. He has spoke to Jordan Colon, a meeting about that. So he said, thank you very much for that.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. Councilman Sanchez, do you have any questions for Mr. Camacho? We may have lost Councilman Sanchez.
All right. So,
all right. So
yeah, I'll make a motion. I'd like to make a motion.
Yep. Is there a second? Yep. Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion in favor of appointing, reappointing Mr. Craig Mergens and appointing Mr. Jose Camacho to the Pratt Committee.
Second.
I guess we'll leave discussion. I guess we'll leave Carl out for now. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So there's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Resolution passes. Thank you. That brings us to the second agenda item. It's resolution sponsored Councilwoman Rossetti, Council President Rosado, Majority Leader Clark, Councilman Sanchez, Councilman Surgeons, Councilman LeBron, Councilman Gale, Councilman Bermudez, and Councilman Mixcom. Resolution requesting to approve superimposing the name of Dr. Craig J. Yenny, PhD Way on Vernon Street at the intersection of Vernon and Summit to be displayed henceforth as Dr. Craig J. Yenny, PhD Way. Certainly, this is a personal thing for me, and I know for a lot of you. I knew Craig as a young kid. It makes me a little emotional. I'm going to make us laugh, though. How's that? I can remember being in a video in the Hart days, a video with him. I was the Hart hero. Yes, that's right. I had a cape. And Craig was the interloper throwing trash in a trash can. I wish I had the video. And we were filming it in front of the Webster Theater. And someone said, "Hey, young man." And I don't even know how we did the video. I then popped into the video, and there was a blue screen, and I had a cape, and he was just a joy always. I know how proud his mother and sisters were of him. Excuse me. So it's a great thing to have done. So I'd like to open the floor to my colleagues. I know his mom is here and needs no introduction, and I know his sister is here, but certainly Councilman Gale, I'll open it up with you.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and I will defer. And since the family's here, I don't know if they want to speak. I I would love to, I'll yield my time to allow the family. I, like yourself, I have a fairly long connection with various members of the Yenny family. All of our names are on this, sponsoring the resolution. So it's clear that we're all supportive. So I will yield my time to any member of the family that would like to speak.
And Councilman LeBron, are you in favor?
Yes, I will yield my time to the Yenny family.
And Councilman Sanchez?
Absolutely.
And Councilwoman Sturgeon?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Hyacinth,
Yeah,
thank you for being here with us this evening.
yeah. Thanks for being here and accepting this resolution for my son. So I felt I had to do this one thing for him because he had made such an impact in our community. He also made a great impact in science and at Trinity and at Brown University. And I've done gardens for him at Brown. I've done gardens at Trinity. I've gotten scholarship for him, and they have Compass and science day for him at his high school. And I've done everything, but I felt like this is the last thing I need to do. As a parent, I've never stopped advocating for my children. And even in that, I am advocating for him because he meant so much to me as a son. And because he's made an impact in our community, I felt it was the right thing to do so no one will forget him. And he's done so much things for young people, not only in Hartford, but for at Brown University. And I just wanted to do this to make sure that he's always remembered.
Thank you, Hyacinth. Melissa, would you like to say something?
Just to attest to that, yeah, like as an educator in the Hartford public school system, one of the things that I say frequently is that teachers touch eternity, because you never know how their impact will affect other people. So just like you shared that story, Marilyn, about the video, those little things, like, or him being a co-founder of Compass, what was Sports Science Academy, all those little things built up, and his impact is spread so far that literally it is going to touch eternity. Any youth that we have that are a part of peace builders, that's Craig Yenny. Any youth that is a part of Sports Science Academy, that's Craig Yenny. Anyone that's in the chemistry department at Trinity College, that's Craig Yenny. His impact, while it might not be huge, it might not be publicized, but it's there. So thank you.
No, thank you. I think, is your other daughter's on? Is Charleston, is she on there? I
know she's having some connectivity issues.
She is?
So I'm not sure if she will be able to speak.
Okay. Well, as my colleague said, every council person's name is on this resolution. He is our native son. We will not forget him. And this will be a way to do that. So I don't know if my colleagues would like to say something. And then if not, we will have a motion. Councilman Sanchez.
Yes, I was fortunate to meet your son, Hyacinth, and I will say I don't believe he had any better of a mentor as his own mother, and that will be you. He is a tremendous son. He left a legacy that obviously you and the rest of us will be proud of.
Councilman LeBron.
Yeah, Hyacinth has been a mentor not only to me, but to everyone in Hartford. And I can imagine, although I didn't have a personal relationship with Craig, I did know of him, and I know of all the things that Melissa had said. I didn't even know if it was that expansive. So, Hyacinth, thank you for all that you do for our community, and I appreciate the opportunity to be able to support this, not only for you, but for Craig and for the community, so they can know that his impact, that he made an indelible impact in our community.
Councilwoman Surgeon.
Yes, ma'am. Hyacinth, to you and the family. I know this is about your honoring your son, but I believe this is honoring you more than anything else. As a mom and as a grandmother, you know, we put and we raise our kids to be the best, but this is honoring you and your contribution that you have made to make Hartford a better place, and by sharing your son with the residents of Hartford. So I supported this resolution out of respect for, you know, wanting you to do this for your son, but I did it because of you and honoring you and your contribution that you have made to the city of Hartford.
Thank you,
Thank you.
Councilwoman. Thank you. Councilman Gale, we're all set.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Chair. Just a quick comment. I think that Hartford is so blessed to have families like the Yenny family, whose many different members have contributed and continue to contribute in so many ways, starting at the top, as has been mentioned by Councilwoman Surgeon. But we've heard from Melissa, who's now, you know, contributing in her own way to our school system, and daughter Charlie, who, as it turns out, is my doctor. And so, you know, this is a wonderful thing when families put their flag down and they contribute. And I'm thrilled if we're well. I'll be happy to make a motion at this point that we send this back with a favorable recommendation. I know it still has to go through the dedication committee, but I think this committee will certainly send it back with a favorable recommendation.
I second the motion.
Could I please make a comment, please?
Of course,
Ms. Charmaine. I'm Hyacinth's sister. I wrote this resolution and it was very emotional. I want you guys to go back and read it again, because this is no ordinary person. He was sent here for a purpose. Read what he did with DNA. I don't know if you ever get the credit for it, but his research at Brown is significant. His mother has the evidence. This is one of God's angels, and I'm honored to have written that resolution for him. Thank you.
Thank you, Charmaine. And the resolution is attached to tonight's email, so please take the time to read it.
Can I tell Charmaine I thank her so much for doing that? And yes, he was recognized for it in the chemical journal of chemical in Brown University in chemistry. Yeah.
Thank you, Charmaine. Thank you, Hyacinth. I think we had a motion. Did we have a motion? I'm not sure now.
Yeah, we had a motion that was seconded.
Oh, it was seconded. Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Jimmy, you're not a voting member, but that's okay. But that's how much he wants it to. Opposed, abstain, resolution passes. It will go back with a favorable recommendation, go to the naming committee, and we will make sure that it goes forward. You have my promise on that. If there is nothing else, do we have a motion to adjourn?
A motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor? Good night. Have a nice evening. And
Aye.
again, thank you, everyone.
Aye.
Bye.